Good morning, everyone, and welcome to El Camino People, the podcast. Today, we bring you an amazing Camino story. Once again, we love to talk about pilgrims. We love to share their stories. And today with us, we have Victor. How are you doing, Victor?
Hi, Jose. I'm fine. I'm really excited and a little bit nervous about the podcast. Yeah.
Don't worry, as I was saying, there's nothing live, there's nothing there, everything is recorded. And the whole idea is just two pilgrims, as we will be doing the Camino, we find each other just grabbing a beer, chatting about our stories and sharing it with the world. But, always relax and chill.
No problem.
So how are you doing, Victor? Tell us a little bit about yourself. You're from Germany, but then, your life ended up into Spain, and we'll talk later about that. But where are you from?
Yeah, I'm 39 years old. I was born in Dushanbe. It's in Tajikistan.
Wow.
But I live in Munich since 16 years now. And I work in advertising agency as an art director. Yeah, and
incredible.
So my bees too.
So we have a lot in common. I'm on the marketing side. I'm 38, so we are, the young generation. We're still a lot of things to do, and we are from. So you're from 1982.
Yeah.
Great. I'm 1983, so best years ever.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we start talking with all the pilgrims, we have the 1 minute questionnaire. So the whole idea is, yes, I'm going to throw you these questions at you. They are all Camino related, and you have 1 minute to answer as many questions as you can. Are you ready?
Okay, I try to do that. I'm ready.
Let's go. Your first Camino.
My first Camino was 2016 from Munich to Fisterra.
Wow. One city.
One city. What do you mean? What kind of city?
One city.
One city. Burgos.
One meal.
One meal. Baguette with marmalade.
A song.
Song. I wanna break free. Yeah.
A sad moment.
Sad moment as my parents died.
A happy moment.
As I arrived to Santiago, I didn't stop crying, so it was nice.
One color.
Green.
A smell.
A sweet smell, honey.
Coffee. With milk or without?
Black coffee.
Okay, and the final question, omelette with or without onions?
Without onions.
Really? You're safe because of the coffee, but man, what's going on? Lately, everybody's without onions. You can tell that you've been living in Galicia too long.
With garlic, yes, but not onions.
Really? Okay, yeah. Well, taste. So tell us a little bit, Victor, one of the things that for me surprised me the most, I live in Pamplona, and the Camino's been in my front door of my life, but from you coming from, from your story, from your background, when and how did you find out about the Camino de Santiago?
I didn't read nothing before about the Camino, and I was not in forums like for pilgrims and about the Camino. As my parents died, I just wanna take a break from my work and from their life, and I thought, there's a way. They really have a good signature, and it's have their goal like Fisterra, and I will see some European countries, and I just packed my backpack with 20 kilos and just went and go to Fisterra.
So how long was till the moment you discovered the Camino? Or did you hear from friends, or how did you find out of this trail?
I came from Munich, and you have everywhere the signature of the shell, and I just start to walk. I remember the day, it was 6 a.m. in Munich, in a special church of the Camino. And my first day was 46 kilometers because I was so excited, and it took me 3.5 months to reach the Fisterra.
It is incredible because many people don't know that all over Europe, in almost all the big cities, there is cells, there's the Camino connections, there is little trails that go the Camino, and Germany is one of the biggest. I don't know how many pilgrims I know that have walked all the way from Germany to Santiago and to Fisterra.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the shell it's the Camino. I saw it many times in Munich, but I just thought, what's the sign is this? And yeah.
So how was the process? Your parents passed away. You leave your job, you quit, or you just asked for a couple of months vacation?
No, I just quit my job and
you quit right away.
Yeah, and start to walk.
And you start walking like how long? Because a lot of people, they always asking like, oh, you're gonna start walking for 3 months, and like, did you prepare? Did you went and research? Did you get your backpack? Did you have everything?
No, I didn't prepare. I just had in the beginning 20 kilos, and as I reached the border to Switzerland, I decided to have less package, and that what I didn't use, I sent it back. So in the end, I had just 14 kilos.
14 kilos.
Yeah. So it was just without experience, nothing.
So are you used to backpacking? Do you used to backpack over there, or was something totally new for you?
It was totally new for me.
Wow. So suddenly from one day to the other, you decide to walk more than 2,000 miles without any experience, a new backpack, all gear, and start walking.
Yeah. With no conversation about pilgrims experience, nothing. I just start to walk by myself.
And just follow the cells?
Yeah, just follow the cells, and it was a nice experience because I met many people on the way, and it was new for me to be alone too, but yeah, I think that's the way of Camino.
So what time of the year were you walking?
What do you mean?
Oh, in what time of the year? Were you walking in March, April?
I start in end of June.
End of June. So, okay, so you were kind of like on the good weather, so no snow.
I was in Pamplona, let me check. I think it was end of September. Yeah.
September, no? So how is, because a lot of people, they think, that the Camino is all full of, people, but not many people have walked through Germany or, Switzerland. How is the Camino compared, now that you know the Camino Frances? How was walking those first days? Did you find any pilgrims? Was it different that what people think is the Camino, or?
Yeah, in Germany it was different to find some places to sleep. I slept sometimes outside, sometimes in churches, sometimes in private rooms, because in Germany it's not like in Spain with many albergues.
Mm-hmm.
And in Switzerland and Germany I was all the time mostly alone. But people asked me because I had the shell on my backpack, and they started give me questions what I do, where I go, and yeah, it motivates me to go the Camino way.
So I always ask the people, what did your family, your friends, told you when you told them right away that like, I'm quitting my job and I'm going to start walking till the end of the world in Spain?
They say I'm crazy.
That's a common one.
Yeah, they say I'm crazy, but they're really proud after that I walk so much.
And no one will say, join for you for a little bit, walk with you, or they were like, no, too much for us?
One friend joined me in Switzerland and walked with me just for 3 days, and that's it. So he came extra from Munich to Switzerland. It was nice.
So how was the walking over there? Because here we are so used to the Camino Frances, the plateau, the Meseta, and the Pyrenees, but how is walking in Germany, Switzerland? And like, as you were saying, so many days walking into a church, sleeping in a church. Did you plan ahead? Is something that is quite easy to follow the cells? So do you need a map? Were you using an app?
No, it was really easy to find the way. I didn't need a map. So it was, it's the infrastructure for pilgrims. It's not so good like in Spain, but it was easy to find it, and yeah.
So your first day, 46K. with 20 kilos in your back,
Yeah.
and with no experience hiking. How was it?
It was nice because I was really happy and excited, but on the next day I walked just 10 kilometers.
Yeah, one for the other.
Yeah, because I was a little bit exhausted, so yeah.
And what is the biggest memories that you have, till from all those, from the walking in Europe, what was the most beautiful days that you will say, if I have to go back to one of those days, or if people are asking right now, I don't want to do the Camino Frances, but I want to do a different Camino in Europe, what would you suggest is the most beautiful part?
I think the most beautiful part was through Switzerland and France, because it was not overcrowded with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the nature in France because, for example, in Germany you see every kilometer a village, and in France was for a few hours nothing, nothing, just nature. So it was really nice.
And you were saying that from those 20 kilos, you sent home about 6. So what was those extra things that you carry in your backpack? Because a lot of people, they always say, right now on the forums, it was like, oh, it's just 10% of your weight. I'm like, I'm sure you don't weigh 200 kilos.
Yeah, it was, for example, a selfie stick. I
Okay.
never use it. Some different clothes, so I excited to get just 3 t-shirts, and I wash every day of my stuff. So it was most of them. What I sending back was the clothes, and
like extra gear. Yeah, that's what I tell everyone. The Camino, 3 t-shirts, 3 pairs of socks, 2 shorts, and just wash them every day.
I think it's enough because you wash every day, so you have every day something new, clean.
Yeah, and also you're in that kind of community that nobody cares so much until you are, and unless you don't sour, everybody around you is on the same situation. So it's not like you need fancy clothes or anything.
That's true. You have the special smell after almost 3,000 kilometers. It not depends if you wash your clothes or not.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people don't get it, because at the end you wash your t-shirt, but your jersey and your backpack, they are gonna grab a smell from the grass, from you, from everything. So at the end, as you were saying, you have that kind of pilgrim smell.
Yeah, that's true. In Germany, you say some like Pilgrimwürze. It means like some I don't know how the English name is. Yeah, some special smell for.
Okay, like another, like a bad smell.
Yeah, smells from everything.
Yes, and if you sleep in churches and in places like that, at the end you ended up grabbing a little bit of everything, and it's nothing bad. It's always, everybody is really respectful about that, and I have to say that I never seen a pilgrim that it's unclean, it's or untidy. Like usually everyone is, as you say, you get to the albergue, you clean your stuff, you put on the old one, and keep doing that every day. Yeah. So you keep on walking, and suddenly you are arriving to Saint Jan. How was the feeling? A lot of people, when I ask them, and people that walked long caminos like you, how was the feeling of arriving to Saint Jan and seeing that huge amount of pilgrims? Because also for you, there was, the planning right of the summer. So
yeah, as the strange thing is, I was always happy on my Camino to see pilgrims in France or Switzerland. As I arrived at Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, I was a little bit shocked because there are so many people, and it was like, I just want to walk alone again. Yeah, but it was different, like Camino before. I arrived Santiago. The first thing what I saw was the airport of Santiago, and I got a goosebumps and started to crying because I was not in Santiago, but I saw that Santiago is not far away anymore. I needed to walk 2 hours more to the cathedral, but Yeah, it was really a special moment.
And what kind of pilgrims were, I always say that, after walking many caminos, I found that there's different kinds of pilgrims. Usually in the Camino Frances, you see the new pilgrims, usually younger crowd. When I did the Portuguese, I saw more people on the second, third Camino, more, in an older. But what kind of pilgrims were in the part of Europe? What people were walking those paths?
You mean the age of the people?
Age, or the kind of people, were more like retirees, were more like people like you working long distance, or were more people just hiking over Europe, not really pilgrims, just hikers?
Yeah, I had the feeling in Spain they are more like tourist pilgrims.
Mm-hmm.
And especially like France and Germany, I meet many pilgrims who lose someone, and that's the reason why they walk the Camino. And in France, they are more like from 40 between 60 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The Spanish Camino was more a little bit younger and more the touristic part. Yeah, that was the difference.
And how was the feeling, suddenly you walk all this Camino that you're almost by yourself, and you start walking the Camino Frances in the plenty of the summer with so many people, and people were asking you, I'm like, what is your story, where you're coming from? And when you tell them you were walking all the way from Germany, how do the people react?
They react like they say, wow, so so big distance, and they was proud, and it was a good reaction of them people.
I guess that probably in your Camino till France, you didn't have like a group of people that you will hike together for a couple of days. You were mostly by yourself, or did you have like a group that you walk a couple of days together?
Yeah, I had in France many groups. We walked together for 2 hours or 3 hours, and then we see each other 3 days after again. So it was like you saw always the people. And the funny thing was, I don't know if it's Spain like this or no, because in Spain you have more pilgrims, but in France especially was like a Camino radio. So when you met some people and you didn't know them, they know about you already everything, because someone tell the stories, and yeah.
Yeah, I think that happens in Spain also, as you were saying. As there's so many people, there's no way that can happen. But I saw that in like last Camino I walked in France, and the Camino Piemonte, and I saw like 3 pilgrims in 10 days, and it was funny. Like someone will always knew or will go ahead and know your story even before you came.
Yeah, it was quite funny to hear about yourself from another people.
And then when you arrived into Spain, did you try to find out like a family, or did you continue your journey and you're mostly by yourself, or how was it the Camino from Saint Jan on?
No, I walked by myself. I didn't find a family. I met many nice people, so I'm still friends till now with them.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
And any big struggles? A lot of people will think that maybe walking in Europe, is harder than the Camino Frances, as you were saying. There's no so many little villages. Maybe people don't know the language. Did you have any problem at all during the Camino, or were you able to, survive?
No, I had no problems with the language, because in France was quite difficult because they speak just French. But I met many pilgrims who helped me to take a reservation in an albergue, so it was without problems, and I didn't had bad experience. I had just only nice experience. So yeah, I think when people are a little bit scared to walk through a country where they didn't know the language, I think they have just to try it, because there are many possibilities to do that. Yeah. because you
and I think
help you. Yeah.
hands, paper, and there's so many people around you that can help you. And
That's true.
yeah. So how was the change? From walking, you were saying that walking the Camino in Europe was so different than walking the Camino in Spain. Why was different?
Why it was different personally for me, or like
In both, personally for you, I guess, after you were saying that you were looking for a more by yourself Camino, and suddenly you are here in Spain with all these people around you, noise. And I know the difference from coming from a Camino that you're by yourself every day with nature, and suddenly you're going into a Camino that some days you have the road by your side, some other days they're amazing. But I guess that after walking, because how long did you walk till you arrived to St. John? Probably 2 months walking?
Yeah, I walked 2 months, and I needed, because when I like small village, I stay there for 2 days or something like that. So I walked till France 2 months, and then I needed, like quite a month to walk in Spain, that part.
So how was the difference from the European Camino to the Spanish Camino?
The difference is it's more louder, more but it was nice because on the Spanish way, the Camino Frances had many different nature parts too, and it was not boring. It was just not easy to find albergue because you need always reservation. In France, I didn't need reservation. I just come in, so I was not in a rush to reach one city. So it was.
So did you have any trouble with any albergue for the reason, like, and I know the feeling, like when you walk in these Caminos, you just walk and you know that there's going to be a bed waiting for you. Suddenly you arrive to Spain, and also people tend to wake up really early here. I don't know if when you are over there, you know that you have the whole day to walk, so it's not like just walking in the morning and arriving late in the afternoon.
Yeah, I had one time trouble with one albergue when I was sleeping outside near the church, but it was nice too. So
that's what always
not raining, so it was good.
Yeah, the only thing with the churches, you need to be careful for the one with the bells. Some of them, they still run the bells every hour till 12 o'clock at night. So some churches in Spain, they are fine. There's I've been sleeping in quite my share of churches, also backpacking through the Pyrenees, but it is always a nice place, and you can always find a place out of the wind. So your Camino gets going. Suddenly you are already 3 months in, and you are getting closer to Santiago. How was the feeling of finally reaching the destination of Santiago?
I didn't believe that I almost there. So I take some pieces of my parents with me, and it was really emotional thing to arrive to Santiago. And I think the last day where I was walking to Santiago, it was 45 kilometers too.
45, wow.
Yeah, so I was exhausted, but really, really happy.
I can imagine. Was a lot of people they have expectations with Santiago. In your case, after walking more than 100 days, do you have any expectations about the arrival, or were you just once you walk for so long, everything becomes kind of like this is my life right now? There was no expectations.
Yeah, at the start was not easy, so I wrote every day something about my experience, and after 60 days it was like quite normality to see every day different people, every day different place, and in the end it was like a new normal life for me.
And suddenly you get to Santiago. For some people, they said, that that's the destination. The ones that we walked, we know that that's the real beginning. What happened to you? Did you know already that you were going to walk to Finisterre, or that you were going to continue, or was something that you decided in the moment?
Yeah, for me it was important to walk first to Murcia, and then I walked from Murcia down to Fisterra, because for me it was important to see the ocean before I go back, and to put the stuff of my parents between the stones, like for me to, how I say that, to close bad feelings and not thinking about more about the death. And
It is incredible, but so many people, they don't know, but there's pilgrims from all over the world that they bring assets or things from the loved ones to live in Finisterre or Murcia, and it's something that is really common, and it's something that a lot of people think that is new because of social media, whatever. But it's something that pilgrims have been doing all their life. It's just a tradition. And why, in your case, first Murcia and then Finisterre? That's a question that a lot of people ask. What do you prefer? Finisterre is like, what do you like more, dad or mom? No, for me, I'm like,
Yeah, Finisterre was for me like the end of the Camino. So I thought, okay, I want to see first the Murcia, and then completely the end of my way will be like a Finisterre. That's what my decision was.
And that was your decision from the day that you left, because you already have that plan, kind of like that what your Camino will finish in Finisterre.
And I slept in a little hotel. It's in Finisterre Cup, near the lighthouse. It was like a present for me. It was really nice to
the Semáforo, the one right there?
Yeah.
It's an incredible place. For people that don't know, it is expensive, but if you walk a Camino like yours with so much, feeling, and you need to give yourself every once in a while a little present, a good meal, a good stay. And
yeah, that's true. And it was like a good present for myself after the walk, just to be there and going outside in the evening where nobody anymore, and just sitting on the roof and just watching at the ocean. It was nice.
I haven't slept there, but I've been eating there, and I always go there for a beer and a coffee. And I can imagine, as you were saying, being by yourself at night there with no one else in kilometers around, and wow, that must be amazing.
Yeah, if I think about it, I'm getting always a goosebumps, because it was...
I'm getting goosebumps, and I haven't even been there. So, but I like that, you mentioned that, because a lot of people, they think that sometimes the Camino is just sort of sleeping in churches or sleeping in albergues, and you are the perfect explanation that you can do a little bit of both, and you have to save a little bit. I always tell people, save a little bit for the end, for a good meal in Finisterre, for a good way of sleep, because also when you go through so much, sometimes your body, and as you say, a little present for you earn it.
Yeah, and I don't understand why many people looking for the Camino like it's something to rush to.
It has become a race, and
it's like a race, and I don't understand, because the life is the race, and the Camino is just a part where you can just switch everything off and not racing, just to be with yourself. Just take time for yourself too.
Yeah, I agree. And also sometimes, the Camino right now is like black or white. I have to go all the time to great hotels or just sleep all the time in my tent. I'm like, there is such a huge line of grays that, as you were saying, if you need to take your time, there's no way that you can rush to an albergue. So sometimes you may need to sleep in a hostel that will give you that, freedom to walk by yourself and not running.
Yeah, I think always be like water. So be like the life. What if something happened? Just be flexible, and
And the Camino will provide, as you were saying. If there's not an albergue or a hotel, there will be a church. If not, will be someone in that village that will, and if not, sleep outside. Nothing's going to happen for one night.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So what happened at the end? The Victor that left Munich and suddenly arrived to Finisterre. What happened inside Victor?
I changed my mind because of work, because I was more there to make a career. And then I decided just to live my life, and I started to do things that I never thought to do that in my life before, like be a beekeeper, looking for a house somewhere quite of a city, so in a small village. And And that's it happens to me. So I found a little house in Galicia.
So the Victor that left Munich fell in love with Galicia right away when you finished when you were in Finisterre, or that happened when you came back home and after processing everything?
Yeah,
Because I think that's one of the things that a lot of people, they don't realize, that you need a couple of days to think about your Camino before you come back. I don't know if you stay in Finisterre for a couple of days or in Santiago, but I always tell everyone, if you have the time, don't rush it. You just went through a life-changing experience. Take some time to just chill and think before you take that plane or train or car.
Yeah, that's true. So I decided everything to do much more slowly, without stress. And as I was on the bridge in Ponte Macera on my Camino way, I thought at this moment it would be nice to have a little house here, because I really love the weather, the nature. It's always green. I love the rain. And
that's the place. If you love the rain, that's Galicia.
Yeah, and I didn't know why I had this feeling on the bridge in Ponte Macera. And 3 years after that, I found a little house near Ponte Macera. So, yeah.
So you find a little house, and you were saying that you were a bee picker. So you came back home. Did you continue on the same kind of like business? You keep working on the same stuff, or?
No, I just want to quit my business and to do something special for pilgrims and for myself, because I really love plants. And I have a big garden, so I try to produce all my vegetables and working with the bees, and thought it will be nice to create something on the Camino, like in France, because I had the experience in France. Our bags are much smaller, and it's
like the Gita, it's more family house.
Yeah, it feels more like family and like more pilgrim spirit, not like just business and make money. So that was my idea, to do something like that.
And how does one go from from life in marketing and stuff to be a beekeeper, gardener in Galicia?
Yeah, I think it was the Camino that changed my mind.
But was that something that you already were, growing your vegetables? Did you know about bees, or was something that came out of the walk-in?
I thought I will do that when I go to pension after my work, and then after the death of my parents, I thought, why you keep the things, do it now, so the life is short. And after the Camino, I decided to do things now and not waiting till I'm 60 or something. So
that's something that we hear so much. People leaving things when you get retired, but I don't know how it is in Germany. But right now in Spain, if we wait till we are retired, maybe we will be 80 or 90. Who knows?
Yeah,
but
maybe I will be not healthy enough to do these things. So I do it now.
So then you start looking for a house in Galicia. How one looks for a house in Galicia?
I was not looking for a house in Galicia especially. I was just looking at houses near the Pyrenees and maybe south of France. I was searching in internet, but it was not like to do it now. It was just when I had time, I searching for that.
Yeah.
And then something happens. It was before the first lockdown. One of my friends wrote me that she knows someone who want to sell a house in Galicia. And I thought, yeah, why not? I will look at that. And I was in February 2000, I think, 20. It was before the first lockdown.
Okay, 2020.
Yeah, there. And I got a goosebumps because it was just near the Ponte Macera.
Wow.
And it's a really old stone house between Ponte Macera and Negrera. and I fell in love with this house. And I had already all the finished pictures of the house, how it looks like, what kind of flowers will be here, and what kind of colors. And yeah, I started to manage the money to buy the house, and many friends helped me. So yeah, and in the end, I bought the house and do now the renovations when I have time.
So you go back and forth and you fix the house by yourself?
Yeah.
Wow, it's incredible, because we just saw the picture that you posted yesterday on Facebook, and it is truly what you say, one of those beautiful stone house from Galicia. And
yeah, and I really love to do the things by my own, all the renovation, and I was all the summer there now, and I had my first 3 pilgrims. It was a nice experience to be the owner and to make a breakfast and dinner for them. So
how was the change? Because right now it's incredible, but you will be surprised how many people ask me, from the States, from all over the world, that they are thinking about moving to Spain and starting a little albergue. Some of them on the retiree, you have the money, and buying property in Spain in some places is pretty cheap. But how was the change from being the pilgrim to being the host of the pilgrims?
it's not easy. I can't believe it till now that it happens. It's just like poker to be like this. So
yeah.
And for me, it's difficult. I learned Spanish now, but my neighbors help me. I had already friends in Galicia too, who helps me too with some papers and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's amazing. You also were talking about the beekeeping. Where does beekeeping fit in this albergue or in this little house in the Camino?
Yeah, I have big garden there, so I decided to grow my vegetables there, because it's like 5,000 square meters.
Wow.
And it's enough place for bees and vegetables. That's the name why I call the name. It's also abeja. In German, like Bienebar. So because of the honey, and yeah.
And how does one start into the beekeeping? Some things that I've been seeing a lot, but how do you start? Yeah, I'm like, you have a project of a house, then you have your garden, then you have the bees, and it's just you.
I have already bees in Germany.
Okay.
I started now 2 years ago, and I thought there will be enough place in Galicia to produce their honey. And yeah, just quit out my job. And
so now you're full-time beekeeper, albergue keeper,
yeah,
pilgrim host.
It's my dream, yeah. So I work on it.
So where do you see you were saying that this is the beginning. Where do you see yourself in 3, 4, 5 years?
I see in 3 years or 5 years to move to Galicia, to speak Spanish.
Muy bien.
And yeah, hope everything goes like I want. So
that's amazing. And one of the things that for me it's kind of like strange, once you have, I always been thinking, about having an albergue, having a place, or being hospitalier for a couple of weeks. But I always wonder, like, if I'm an hospitalier, I can't be walking. So for you, I'm like, are you thinking about walking more caminos, or you have decided, for me right now, I want to be kind of like the hospitalero, the pilgrim's host?
Yeah, I think I will be the host of the albergue. So, and maybe some people want to help me too and work there. So it will be easier.
So are you thinking about walking any more caminos soon, or for now your project is just working on the albergue, and any free time that you have, you go over there?
My dream walk I want to walk the Camino from Porto.
Oh, beautiful. Camino Portugués, the coastal or the inland?
The coastal one.
For me, one of the best.
And then north of Spain to see to have more experience, to see what kind of albergues they are, and just make connections.
That's amazing. Yeah, we wish you the best of luck, and we hope that we can visit you soon and try those veggies and that.
I will be again there from 17th December to 8 January. So
okay.
if you have time, you can visit me.
I hope I can have time. So if people wants to know more about the albergue, or get in touch with you, we have, both your Facebook name and your Instagram name. I guess they can contact you over there just to go to the albergue, or
yeah, they can contact me over social media. I work on my website too, but it's not finished yet. So
usually happens, yeah. So we will put also all the information on the post, and we wish you the best. It's great that whole people ended up giving back to the Camino and finding in love with the Camino. And I guess the Camino needs more places like you, as you were saying, little places where the pilgrims feel like family. And I'm sure that it will be a great success.
Yeah, I hope so. It's really small one, but I think it will be the nice one.
I think the small ones became the biggest ones in the Camino.
Yeah, thank you.
Because at the end, the small ones are the ones that you feel like home and you feel like heart. And if I can think about albergues, you always remember those that you are with few people, that you remember the host, that you are, as you were saying, that you feel like home. And I guess the Bienebar will be one of them for sure.
Yeah, I just have to finish the kitchen and the living room, but all the rooms are already finished. So.
And if anyone wants to know, there's a lot of pilgrims that they like to help and everything, so they can contact you, in your social media. And I guess that you will be more than willing to accept any hands that can go there and work.
Yeah, it will be nice. Everyone is welcome. So.
Anyway, thank you so much, Victor. And as we always say, buen camino, ultrella.
Thank you, Jose, too. And have a nice day.
You too.
Yeah, thank you.